Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Emilia and my channel name Harvinaisen kaunis elämä means uniquely beautiful life. And today I think me and my Nightwish train we are going to go somewhere really unique. At least I think so. I picked a song from my Nightwish song list and I just say it's quite an interesting title we have here. Kuolema tekee taiteilijan. It's death makes the artist or an artist. Well, I don't know what to expect, so let's find out. Helsinki 2005, Nightwish Kuolema tekee taiteilijan. Beginning was so delicate and tender, and the way she started singing is this may sound funny, but this reminds me of Merikanto and Kuula and all those other peaceful, melodic and usually little melancholic Finnish classical vocal solo songs called yksin laulu. They are not leads, they are not folk songs, but very essentially Finnish classical solo pieces accompanied by the piano. And the way Tarja is singing is really classical Finnish yksin laulu sound. It's not full operatic sound and rounded. It's more controlled and reserved, like those classical solo pieces are. It's fascinating, really. Also, yksin means alone and laulu means a song. she's singing there alone, but it sounds beautiful. This is really beautiful and so simple in its beauty.
Teki minusta taiteilijan.
are really complex. I mean, from a level of from 1 to 10, it's 50. There was this line. Miksi lapseni minua luulee? I can see a school essay there, theme there. Write an essay of 10 different ways or what Thomas could mean with that sentence. And still, you would be left with more questions than answers. I mean, oh, these lyrics and the whole song, it's I'm sorry, but this is an usual Nightwish song. I of course I'm used to Thomas surprising and not trying to, not knowing what to expect. But still, I could have not guessed that I could think of Merikanto, one of my favorite Finnish composers, when I listened to Nightwish. And for some peculiar reason, this brings Pekka Kuusisto in my mind. The Finnish violinist, and I have no idea. I have never heard this song before, and I don't remember Pekka Kuusisto playing this song, but maybe just because this is so ultimately Finnish that somehow it makes all kinds of weird classical connections in my mind. But it's beautiful, and her voice, well, let's just move forward, because
Minusta taiteilija. Ojani luoksesi, anna minun tulla siksi, miksi lapseni minua luulee.
that cello there. I mean, and those first chords, and oh, my heart is beating so fast. I'm trying to say that. What I'm trying to say. That was so unexpected. Sorry. Sorry. But I mean, what is that cello? And above all, who is playing that cello? Or other way around, because the sound of that cello is I'm probably making a fool for myself, but I don't care, because that cello didn't sound any ordinary cello. So I really want to know who is playing and what. is that instrument besides the cello? But you know, the exact instrument they are playing. The first notes, or from the first notes, because then the feelings stayed with me the whole cello solo. It reminded me a lot of Elgar's Cello Concerto, and I know I'm always referring to it because it's one of those classical pieces that when you experience it, it never leaves you, and there are strange connections. You know, Nemo made a certain impact on me, and I know I am going to refer in my mind in the most strangest of places about Nemo, and oh, I remember that song and what feelings or thoughts it evoked me. And Elgar's Cello Concerto is one of the most important pieces of music for me, and I have listened it so many times that I can almost say when Jacqueline Dupre's changing her bow, up and down bows, and this sounded a lot like the beginning of the Elgar Cello Concerto, and maybe that's why I had this special cello in my mind. But this was really beautiful. This was extraordinarily beautiful. I want to hear that again, and I'm a bit sorry for you that I'm pausing it so much and talking about some really weird classical stuff there, but I'm enjoying this so much. I feel a little dizzy right now because this was so unexpected. I hope I can find where it starts. I paused a nanosecond too early. Was left there, sorry, but those drum beats, I wanted to hear that ending again because they kind of faded away. I mean, I didn't hear them well enough, but it felt like they were fading away. I wanted to hear that again because with Tarja's voice there, and with everything else, it felt, and with the lyrics, it felt really important and significant. And I want to hear if I heard it correctly, because it kind of makes the ending different. I don't know where it starts, but let's try. I don't know where to start. Actually, I do know. Toes trumpets. What I just did was that I, after finishing listening to the performance, I listened to the studio version because of those trumpets. Felt so significant, and a little bit that cello solo too. I wanted to hear that, but it felt significant, and yes, I got a fright. I got a fright when in the studio version those piano chords and drums hit with such a force. It felt like a gunshot. And then indeed it all faded away. And that was, I felt in the end, like a gunshot or something. End of a life. And heartbeat and life fading away. But then in the studio version, the coastly atmosphere there was really haunting, you know, the wind and voices, and it was like I have never watched horror movies, so I don't know, but it sounded like you could drop it in you could drop that ending into a horror movie and it would fit into place perfectly. But I'm concentrating on the live performance here, not the live studio version. So I just put a link to that version below, and you can listen to it if you want to. Although I have an inkling you might already have listened to that. But now back to this performance. It's this song was so much to me. Maybe one of the reasons it was so unique and so special was that it was both sung and composed from, you know, somewhere where the essence of a Finnish heart lies. It felt like a homecoming, like Nemo in real life. And when I try to unwind that feeling, because this was a really Finnish song, I think I need to start with the pronunciation, because if you are not speaking Finnish, you might not pick up that her pronunciation here was really classical. And what I mean by that is that in Finnish, we have several dialects, and we know immediately where someone is from because of that. And basically, no one speaks to written language. So if you would try to, you know, those dialect words usually are not found in dictionary. So trying to learn Finnish is like a bit of a, you know. Anyway, you know, we hear immediately if someone sings in a modern way or in a classical way because of the pronunciation. Because in modern music or pop or whatever, the pronunciation is often a bit offhanded and casual around the edges, and And on the other hand, in the classical music, the pronunciation is really sustained, controlled, and although everything is clearly and carefully delivered, it also needs to be softly rounded, if that makes sense. And that's how Tarja is singing this song. Which leads us to the next point. Her use of diminuendos and crescendos and vibrato, everything in this song, is thought and controlled through with utmost care. And her decision of letting only glimpses of her full voice come through this is how those Finnish classical solo pieces are presented. Exactly like this. And I mean, as a Finn who has both listened and sung so many Finnish classical solo pieces, these yksinlaulupieces, by Merikanto and Kuula and Hannikainen and so on and so on. This is how a Finnish heart sounds like. And the lyrics and the melody is really melancholic. Yes, but this is not a funeral kind of sad, really. And I'm really astonished that I'm going to say this aloud, but because you know me and how much I love lyrics. But in this song, like in the genre of those Finnish classical solo pieces, the lyrics are kind of secondary. It's the music that speaks to the part in your heart that needs a way to be expressed. And the music is there to give it a voice. And how your heart uses it is up to it. If that makes sense. Because I'm trying to come to the core of this, because what I like about Tarja is her ability to be the bridge between the music and the listener, or your heart. It's I mean, I have heard or read so many comments about her not that she's not, you know, presenting any feelings, or you know, there isn't any feelings in her voice, but I disagree, because we Finns tend to mind our own business. We want treasure our personal space of 30 meters or so, and when we keep our thoughts to ourselves unless we think they are so important it needs to be expressed, which means there is hardly no point in small talk. So, for example, when we ask how you are doing, we are indeed actually asking how you are doing. We are interesting to hearing, and we are expecting an answer, and we want to listen to it. Because what is the point of asking how you are doing if you do not listen the answer? That's us. So, you know, we need to be. So we are kind of masters of nuances. Those little fragments of facial expressions or nuances in voice that are just enough. We can take it from there. So what I'm trying to say is, what Tarja does is that she's really considerately and purposefully, in a true Finn way, leaving room for us to be our unique selves and feel in our unique way. Because every one of us living on this planet has a lifetime of experience. That lifetime may be short, it may be long, but we all have experiences, and all those experiences, emotions, memories, everything affects how we feel and think, and about life, universe, and everything. And music is above all, and after all, a gateway to that sacred space of emotions and mind, if that makes sense. Because we Finns need that space. And to be honest, I think everyone does, or should, because we all should be needing that sacred space to think and feel just the way we need to, not how we are expected to, not how social media makes us, wants us to, but how we need to. And what Tarja does is just that. She's the gateway, she's the bridge, she's the messenger between Tuomas's incredible music and us. And she's creating that sacred, silent, personal space for us to feel and think. Not the way she wants us to, but the way we need to. So we can process everything that music evokes in our own way. I hope you know what I mean, or have an inkling at least. Because I think every Nightwish song is ultimately about that, about, creating a space for us to think and feel. I think of Nemo again. And more importantly, how we feel right there and then. Because I think I have learned, and I am sure you have, that how we feel and think about a song or a movie or a book or anything right now might be different from what we experienced last week or next year, and it's definitely different from how others feel and think about it. I think I tried my best to explain the way Tarja is singing is not emotionless icicles thrown at your face like some seem to think, but it's purposeful, it's needed and should be appreciated more as such, I think. So, can we concentrate on that gem of a cello solo piece for a moment, please? Thank you. Because I mean, what is that cello? As silly as it may sound, and I know I'm always talking about it, and it's absurd. My first thought was Davidoff, and I know it can't possibly be, because it's a Stradivari cello that is these days used by Yo-Yo Ma. And I could almost certainly say that wasn't Yo-Yo Ma, because the oboes were played, the way they were played, remind me much more about Jacqueline Dupre. And this couldn't be her either, because she died in the 80s. So I just want to say that cello sounded extraordinary, and I would love to know what and who. Or I'm losing all my pretty marbles. But I also doubt Tuomas Holopainen had Edward Elgar's Cello Concerto in E minor mind when he composed this song. And I don't think it's in the same key anyway. But there are similarities in that cello song with the first chords of the concerto and the way it's building upward. And it was so beautiful, so incredibly, breathtakingly beautiful for me because of that. Because the connection of my soulmate with Elgar and with this and the lyrics, they really were both swan songs. And it's made me love the song even more. Now I took a little break here because I'm exhausted, and I wanted to look at the English translations of the lyrics to see if there is something worth mentioning before I start to talk about the lyrics, and it turned out there's a lot. Of course there's a lot, because the lyrics of this song are so incredibly multi-layered and complex that, just as I expected or suspected, there is no translation. I found no translation covering it all, nearly all. But I think I can do another video if you want me to, and try to break it down line by line and try to explain what these lyrics means. Because they are so multi-layered, and Tuomas is Tuomas. All I can do is my best if you want me to. Because I could play the song line by line or phrase by phrase and try to explain what lies behind that translation. I could add translations to that, Finnish lyrics and then English translations before in the video, and try to explain at least some of the things that are left unsaid in this translation, or that are lost in it, because this song has such a meaningful message, and it's beautiful and it's complex, and I could try to guide you through it if you want me to, but there is no point in me doing that if no one is interested, because that will require some serious thinking, even for Finn loving words. So please let me know in the comments if you have watched this far, if you want me to try to do that. And thank you so much for keeping me company this far. This song was exceptionally it was both fragile and so strong you could move mountains with it. It was beautiful. So thank you.